Hey y'all, today I will be showing you how to play the clarinet. I'm just gonna lower the camera a bit because I cannot stand it. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so this, my people, is a clarinet if you did not know. It's a woodwind instrument. It uses a reed. So right now my reed is waterlogged. It has a mouthpiece, ligature, barrel. Usually it has a barrel. Sometimes it's only the upper joint connected to the barrel, so sometimes it's unremovable. And some old clarinets, I don't know, don't ask me why. Or they might be one piece with a section in the middle. So mainly on student clarinets, or whatever you may find, there will be the mouthpiece, which you might know what is, ligature, reed, barrel, upper joint, lower joint. And the thing about, okay, and I'll get to that, and the bell. I know, how wonderful. Okay, so, when assembling your clarinet, first thing is, you want to make sure you know which pieces are which. So what I mean by that is some people may do this. If you see that there's no cork on either one with no cork, that does not go together. There's no way it can attach. So by that, you may know that if there's a cork and nothing without cork, that will go together. Oh, I know, how wonderful. Magic. It's actually not magic, it's just logic. But, anywho, so to make sure, so the upper joint is the one with the thumb hole on the back. You're going to see a thumb hole and this long key, and this is your upper joint, if you may know as. The way you will know your lower joint is usually you will have a thumb rest. If your clarinet does not have a thumb rest, I highly recommend you screw one on, because this helps with hand placement, and I don't know if you could go without using one. I don't know, but yeah. And the other way you know that this is the bottom piece is you will see bigger tone holes that have these usually 4 keys, but sometimes there may be like a 5th, 6th, I don't know, and there may be like another key here or 2, you know, fancy stuff. My clarinet, just a regular clarinet, nothing fancy. Okay, now assembling the instrument. So I'm gonna take my reed off because you know, I should probably show you how to put on the reed. You can either put it in your mouth or put it on in a cup of water or a shot cup. I don't have a shot cup at the moment with me, but you can just do whatever you feel. Please do not like, I don't recommend this if you soak your reed in like juice. Some people do that. I don't know why, but I wouldn't recommend it. Or like some people do vodka. I don't understand why they do that, but just get your reed wet, okay? Usually most people use water, okay? Okay, now we've got that cleared. Assembling the instrument. Okay, so it's safer to start with the lower end of the instrument. So this is called the bell, because it looks like a bell. It's all in the word. And you have the lower joint. Oh, so fascinating. So while you're assembling the lower joint, you want to make sure you do not grab any of these rods, because they are very fragile. Especially if you have like a beginner clarinet and like you get like a really cheap one, they may like for $100, they may be like a really bendy, malleable metal, which I recommend getting a decent instrument. not like you can get really any instrument, but like I'd recommend getting a name brand instrument. Not saying it matters, but like for the best quality, honey. So with your bell and your lower joint, you assemble the two. So you can place your right hand, left hand, whatever. Put it like, don't touch your rods. Just make sure you're not touching your rods. And if your clarinet is new, you are gonna want to use cork grease, because the corks probably haven't been, they're probably really hard to get on. You might hear this like squeaking sound, I guess you could say. So use cork grease, because it comes in handy. Okay, just buy cork grease, okay? Next, you want the upper joint, the other piece with more keys, usually. So you will notice that there is, that this key over here moves. You're probably wondering, oh, why does it move? I'm like, because you see that? That's called a bridge key right over here. The reason it's called a bridge key is because it bridges on to the other side of the instrument and connects it to attach to the other keys to play the lower notes. So basically, you can see that this one there and this one there, they can go in. So you want to make sure that they don't go in properly. Please do not like jam your clarinet together. That is not healthy for the instrument. So you're going to want to make sure that the line over here, like right where the key is, you want to make sure that the line is in line with the other key. So yeah, it's supposed to look like something like this. If you know, yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like. Next, for the barrel, or the bell, nothing really matters unless it's like some weird system clarinet where there's like a certain key on the bell or barrel. You can really put the barrel anyway. I usually just put the logo in the front just because, I don't know, I think it looks neater. I don't know, it's just something I've always done. If you're new to clarinet, you can take off the barrel and you can attach the mouthpiece to it. See, that is what I'm telling you about. That needs cork grease. You see like how it's not like, okay, so like the weird thing is, I thought by now the cork would be pretty stable, but I got this mouthpiece in December, and it was a pain to get in. I don't know, it was just, so I'll be right back. I'm just going to get cork grease because I do not have it right here. It's in the case. Okay. So we're gonna focus the attention here. Yeah. This is called cork grease. So a lot of times it smells like mint. It's cork grease. It is not chapstick. Do not be getting that in your head because you are going to get sick. This is not chapstick. It may smell like mint and be all fruity and flavorful, but do not use this. I'm telling you right now. So, what you want to do with cork grease, so you want, like, something that I cringe at is when a clarinet players or like any instrument with cork, just like they like go like this, and then you see there are like so many chunks of cork grease on there, and then they just jam it in. No, that is not how it goes. If you have cork grease like that, you rub it in, because then it's gonna like be uneven, you know. Honey, I don't know, but you know, who knows? Now you can put your instrument together. easier, I think. So next, I am going to show you how to put your reed on your mouthpiece. I know, very exciting to new clarinet players. Okay, this is called a reed. If you didn't know what it was, it comes from a tree, usually, unless you have like a plastic reed, which we will get into in another video. So this is called a reed, as I said previously. It has a straight end and a like little end with this kind of shiny bark kind of thing. So the straight end, usually with some insignia or whatever you say, I don't know how to pronounce it, that goes on the flat side of the mouthpiece. So when you look at that, that goes onto that mouthpiece. If you see that it's like this, and you're wondering why there's a gap, you put it in the wrong way. You have to make sure it's the right way. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure your reed is wet. I'm not gonna be playing this video, so it doesn't really matter for me. So you put the ligature on, and then you tighten the screws with the reed in place. You want to make sure that the reed doesn't slip. Don't tighten the ligature too tight, or else you're going to get squeaks. I don't know. And one thing I have to warn you about is if you're a beginner clarinet player, like Rovner ligatures are okay, but I have one, and honestly, it's kind of like a backup of my backup of my backup. I never use it, but if you have a Rovner, it's gonna be a bit different. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just you see. Okay, I'm just gonna compare the two. You can see that on my ligature, this one is a Bonade, I think. I don't know. It has these two rails right there inside to hold the reed. But this Rovner is just basically leather on a reed. So you see there are no rails, which means it smothers the reed. So if you are using a Rovner, which I really never use, you're gonna want to make sure that the screw, you want to make sure that if it's like one like this is a Rovner light ligature, you're gonna want to make sure the screw is on. You're always gonna want to make sure the screw is on your right hand side, but this screw is gonna be at the back instead of the front usually, unless it's like some weird model. I don't know, but I never use Rovner. It's just kind of a pain. It smothers the reed. The sound kind of makes it, I don't know, it's a piece of leather on a mouthpiece. You could basically get an elastic band. But in all honesty, this thing was like $40. Like, I'm like, $40 for a piece of leather with a screw and a plastic cap. $40. I mean, it's fine. I mean, now I know I'm not buying it again. But I don't know why I bought it in the first place. It wasn't that big of a purchase, so I don't really regret it. But if the day ever comes where I lose all my ligatures instead of that one, which I don't think will happen, but who knows, anything can happen. Yeah, I don't know. And the thing about mouthpieces is like they're like a personal setup. So like it's like if you forget your mouthpiece, it's kind of like hard, I guess, because you're sort of like you're used to your mouthpiece, so like it's kind of hard to use a different one. I don't know, but you want to like something that people say is like make sure there's a razor thin black line, but that is just bullabong. That stuff is not very good advice. Okay, so, when I started clarinet, I used to put the reed too low. And I will show you what I mean by that. I was not getting a sound. This is how low I would put it. That may not look like that much, but that is low. Low, I'd say. Look how low that is. Like, you can see the black. That's like, no, just no. You want to make sure that the reed, here, I'm going to show you what I mean. Now, this is what a reed on a mouthpiece is supposed to look like, usually. So, you push the reed up if you want more resistance. This is what it's supposed to look like that. I mean, it's different for everyone, but this is what I do. I don't know what to say. And once you're done, you can attach the barrel and mouthpiece to the instrument. Yeah, I know, it's very exciting. So, and you want to make sure that the ligature, the reed, is aligned with the register key. So like it'll look like that. So this is your fully assembled clarinet. I know, very fascinating. Very fascinating. Yep, this is a clarinet and what it should look like. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in the link below. I don't know, what's the link?